Let's talk Texas politics. Um, Everybody wondered if Texas would go blue, and if there's a possibility, it could be this year. The only issue is, the Democrats. I'm talking today. Tomorrow, I'll talk about Republicans. Democrats got two good candidates: Jasmine Crockett and James Talarico. Um, Texas. Here's the problem: each one had their own difficulties. James Talarico issue is he can pull male Hispanic voters, but he has problems attracting African American voters. Jasmine Crockett problem is she has problem pulling Hispanic voters and white male voters. Look, there's something they don't want to say in Texas, but racism exists. Um, the Hispanics proven that with the 2024 election. While you had a better candidate, the problem was you would not vote for an African American woman or anybody of color who was a woman. So it's not just race; it's also sexism. Now, you have great candidates. And one of the things I like that what the Democrats did this year was they put somebody on every ballot down the state, on the whole state. Democrats got somebody on every race in the state. What that means for the Texas Republicans is you have to spend money, a lot of money. Some of you had seats that you never had to run for because it was a safe seat you was going to win anyway. Now you don't have that option. Now, what both of them bring to the table. Jasmine is a fighter. She's a fighter. The one thing that kind of had me laugh today was there's an article today about the Republicans happy that she's running because she gives the seat to the Republicans. There's a problem with that. She will embarrass them at the debate stage. They know it. The other thing is they're making comments about her marital status. What does your marital status has to do with you running for Senate? What it comes down to, what it shows is you're afraid of this woman. This woman terrifies you for whatever reason. So you got to come up with that. And remember, the Republicans have a history of doing that. You want to bring up anything about a minority woman, they're not educated. Um, they're stupid. They they have all these issues. It's really sickening, especially the way Republican white males have been trying to downgrade African American women who are educated, who worked hard to get their education and to do things with their life and move forward. And they weren't handed things to them like a lot of these white Republican men. Now, that's James Talarico. He is a state. He's a state representative, I believe, and he is for the state of Texas. He's a fighter too. Like I say, this is going to be a hard one, Democrat primary, because you got two good candidates for this seat. The question is which one will bring it home. Jasmine Crockett has built a coalition, so she's not the only one on the ticket. James Talarico has not. And that's his issue right there. He has not. Both of them are fighters, both of them are popular, and both of them are liked. And to be honest, they're Republican candidates. For the primary, ugh, leave a lot to be desired. Um, but I'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll discuss that tomorrow and everything. Um, but that comes back to what I say. Politics in Texas does have racism involved and sexism. You have to remember, part of West Texas and South Texas is probably 90% Hispanic. Um, Even though we're tied on the Mexican border, they really go back and forth like it ain't shit. Like it ain't shit, to be honest. Because all of them got family over there. The thing is, and here's a good question to ask the Hispanic community is, they made a comment about something. She said, well, here's the problem about she said that they do jobs black Americans don't do. She's right. Hispanics work construction jobs. Hispanics work agriculture. They work a lot of hard physical jobs. What did she say was wrong? She was being honest. The only black person gonna get on the farm is the black person that owns a farm. You do have black people that work construction. How many black roofers do you have? I mean, you have some, but how many? So that comes back to Republicans using talking points to try to make her look bad when what she's saying is true. I had a conversation with my dad about immigration before the 2024, and I told him, I said, you realize who work construction and who work in agriculture for the United States, right? Who work in the meat process, but who handles our food? So I'm like, if you start deporting a bunch of Hispanics, how are we going to eat? I saw, was it Telemundo when Trump was running, and a guy was a field worker asked, if you deport us, who's going to pick your food? Ironically, they voted for him anyway. You voted for him anyway, so now this is what's going on. So you bit your hand. So the question that comes back to is this: you got two good candidates. Who you gonna vote for? You gonna vote for which one is better? I don't know. I don't know which one's gonna be better for Texas. I do know that when you look at the other side, it's great. I do know they're bringing a lot more to the table this time. But I will say this though, and I find it ironic. You're going after Jasmine Crockett more for being a black female, but not James Talarico. They're both running for it. Why would you go after her more unless you're so afraid that she can win? Now, I'm not an intellectual genius or a rocket scientist, but everything I see is you putting something on her, her. Not anybody else, not him. Why? Does that tells me that, hey, you're really afraid of something or you're concerned about something? Now, like I said, I wrote on my Substack about American racism, and my Substack is under had it memorized. Douglas Gregory 1969. It's on Douglas Gregory. So take a look at it and tell me what you think of my article. Now, I have an email at douglasspeaks@outlook.com. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to get back to me. Okay? Thank you.